What I want to talk about tonight is in reading through the book of Hebrews in chapter 12, verses 1 and 2. Therefore, since we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, let us also lay aside every weight and sin which clings so closely. And let us run with endurance the race that is set before us, looking to Jesus, the founder and perfecter of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is seated at the right hand of the throne of God. That part about laying aside every weight and sin that clings so closely caught my eye when I was reading through that, and it got me to thinking about the weights and the burdens that we have in our everyday lives. At Community Hospital, I work out there a majority of the time, and back behind the hospital by the employee lot, there's a pond back there, and they've got it set up with a walk path, and it's a nice area back there. And last summer, they bought 2 pumps to have a couple of fountains back there. And so it was our job to install them, and most of you guys, I'm sure you've seen these fountains that are in ponds that it's a big floating plastic disc that has a pump down inside of it and a long cord to go back to the power. And so we set our boat in and moved it over to the shore close to the junction box and loaded up the pump with us, and then left a guy on the shore to hold the cord so that we wouldn't pull too much in, and we set off. And the cord alone, it's heavy by itself, but once you get to dragging it, the weight just increases because at this point you're taking it over rocks and down in the mud and whatever else is buried underneath that water. And the cord just got heavier and heavier. Well, it was a windy day already, and the wind is coming straight at us, and so the waves are kind of rippling by us this way. And I thought, we are good road, and we're moving out there. And then I look around, and we're only 10 feet from the shore, and we weren't moving at all. And so I told my apprentice, I was like, you need to pull that slack. We need to get it up in the boat with us so we can move. And the more he pulled, the further back he pulled us. And we're just staying in the same spot, and then we're losing ground. We were weighed down. We were burdened. We were held back by that heavy cord. We weren't going anywhere. We finally wised up, and we went back to the shore. We didn't have to go far. We went back to the shore and put all the cord in with us. All the weight came with us so that we could start from there and just release the weight as we went. And I got to thinking, when it comes to our spiritual lives, it's the same story. If you aren't a child of God tonight, you're just dragging that weight with you. You're dragging that weight, and you're not getting any closer to God. And for those of us who have been baptized, if we have at one time unloaded that and laid it aside, sometimes we go back and pick up that weight for one reason or another, don't we? And when we do that, we think, I'm going to drag this sin with me again. But when we do that, it's only pulling us backwards. It's pulling us away from God. We need to release that. We need to release it to move forward. Lay aside every weight and sin. Put it behind us. But we can't do it alone. Christ paved the way. Once again, verse 2, and then moving on to verse 3. We need to look to Jesus, the founder, the perfecter of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is seated at the right hand of the throne of God. Consider him who endured from the sinners such hostility against himself, so that you may not grow weary or faint-hearted.